Girivaradhari Chashodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Jashodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jamunati Ravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jamunati Ravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Hare Krishna Radha Radha Prabhu, nice to see you. Hare Krishna. You are still in Orlando? Orlando te acho?
Yes, Rose.
Oh, very good. I'm in New Orleans.
No, Groveland.
Very good. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers. Mother Malati is here, good. So we are going to do Bhagavad Gita chapter 6. If you have Bhagavad Gita, you can follow chapter 6, text 13 and 14. Where we left last week, we're going to refresh on that. So before that, we invoke the mercy of Lord Vasudev, Sri Krishna, to purify our consciousness. So please join together. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraya Nashtaprayesu Abhadresu Mittam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karati Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim Jatkripatamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyenanjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kada Mahayam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshutarine Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavata Gita as it is, chapter 6, text 13 and 14. Kalavacha Sridhar Prabhu, would you like to read the Sanskrit and the English? You have to unmute, Prabhu.
Chapter 6.
Text 13 and 14 together.
Okay. So, Samakaya Siro Griba Darajang Achalan Srira Sampreksha Nashiga Kanswang Dishas Chana Balokayang Prashantatma Biga Bir Brahmachari Brateshtitaha Manha Samyamya Machito Yukta Shitamat Paraha. Translation. One should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Purport. Should I read the purport?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. The goal of life is to know Krishna, who is situated within the heart of every living being as Paramatma, the 400 Vishnu form. The yoga process is practiced in order to discover and see this localized form of Vishnu, and not for any other purpose. The localized Vishnu Murti is the plenary representation of Krishna dwelling within one's heart. One who has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti is uselessly engaged in mock yoga practice and is certainly wasting his time. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and the Vishnu Murti situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize this Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to absorb complete abstinence from sex life. Therefore, one has to leave home and live alone in a secluded place. Remaining seated as mentioned above, one cannot enjoy sex life daily at home or elsewhere and attend a so-called yoga class and thus become a yogi. One has to practice controlling the mind and avoiding all kinds of sense gratification, of which sex life is the chief. In the Rules of Celibacy, written by the great sage Yajnavalkya, it is said, Karmana manasa vacha sarva tashu sarvada sarvatra maituna tyago brahmacharim prachakshate. The vow of brahmachari meant to help one completely abstain from sex indulgence in work, words, in mind, at all times and all circumstances, in all places. No one can perform correct yoga practice through sex indulgence. Brahmacharya is taught, therefore, from childhood. When one has no knowledge of sex life, children at the age of 5 are sent to Gurukula, or the place of the spiritual master. And the master trains the young boys in the strict discipline of becoming brahmacharis. Without such practice, no one can make advancement in any yoga, whether it be dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, or bhakti. One who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life, having a sexual relationship only with his wife, and that also under regulation, is also called a brahmachari. Such a restrained household holder, brahmachari, may be accepted in the bhakti school, but the jnana and dhyana school do not even admit householder brahmacharis. They require complete abstinence without compromise. In the bhakti school, a householder brahmachari is allowed control sex life because the cult of bhakti yoga is so powerful that one automatically loses sexual attraction, being engaged in the superior service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.59, it is said, Visayami nivartante niraharasya lehina rasa varjan rasopyasa parandristva nivartante. Whereas others are forced to restrain themselves from sense gratification, a devotee of the Lord automatically refrains because of superior test. Other than the devotee, no one has any information on that superior test. Vigata Bhiha. One cannot be fearless unless one is fully in Krishna consciousness. A conditioned soul is fearful due to his perverted memory, this forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. The Bhagavatam 11:237 says, Vayam dviti vibhishetaha sya ishat apetasya viparya yo smriti. Krishna consciousness is the only basis for fearlessness. Therefore, perfect practice is possible for a person who is Krishna conscious. And since the ultimate goal of yoga practice is to see the Lord within, a Krishna conscious person is already the best of all yogis. The principles of the yoga systems mentioned herein are different from those of the popular so-called yoga societies.
Prabhupada's Prabhupada's purport is so complete. So many angles, he covers everything. Now, it's not so much of sex, it is the diversion from the real, essential purpose of life. So in our fight with Maya or illusion, we should not be in a position in which our strength, enthusiasm, senses will be unable to fight vigorously. You follow? So if somebody feels weak, it's better he get married, but he has to continue fighting against Maya. That is the whole purpose. Getting married is not just for sense gratification. Getting married means you are not comfortable where you are in a war with Maya, but you're taking a shelter, another place where you can keep on going, fighting. That is the purpose. So, our Krishna consciousness movement actually declared war against the illusory energy, in which all the living entities are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in this ISKCON movement or I mean the devotees, we are actually soldier, in a sense we are fighting with Maya, must always possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power. If you don't have a strong body, you cannot chant. You cannot get up and early morning and do your sadhana. So you have to maintain your body nicely, not over or under, just a balance. So you can go on doing sadhana. Sadhana means you are fighting against Maya, illusion, where you want to go towards the light or Krishna consciousness. So what constitutes a normal condition will not be the same for everywhere. For some devotee, maybe he can stay in a family life and progress very smooth. Someone may not be able to do that. He may have to stay in an ashram with brahmacharis. Someone is capable living in a temple, or somebody may be living in a middle of the town, downtown, and be still strong preacher. Someone may be weak. He may have to go to country life temple. So the point is that wherever you are, you have to be able to fight vigorously against this illusion that covering your consciousness. That is the point. And that is Prabhupada explained in 8th canto, 2nd chapter, 30 verse. Very details. I'm just paraphrasing what I read. So this verse is very interesting verse. And Prabhupada gave a nice purport. So last week we discussed about this Ashtanga Yoga, that how they try to control. So I'm going to go into details a little bit today. We have 30 minutes. So Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 stages: Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. Now in Jama and Niyama, there are 5 further elements that generally we don't discuss. That I'm going to discuss today, which is, we talk, but barely like touching, not going into deep. So let's discuss this few minutes. What are the fruits of Jama? So there are 5. One is Ahimsa. Ahimsa means others give up their enmity to you. Just like Arjuna is fighting, Krishna says, kill your enemy. But if you look at 11.33, Krishna says, kill your enemy. And then he says, on the 11.55, the last verse, he said, but no enemy, enmity. Are you understanding the point? You kill your enemy without enmity. How do you kill your enemy without enmity? Not possible. Only you can do when you do it for others. So for Krishna's pleasure, Arjuna is fighting, not for him. Now, if you don't see the enemy, how are you going to kill the enemy? So you have to have an identity of enemy. You follow? The enemy looks like this, doing this. You have to have an identity in order to recognize this is enemy. So Arjuna, Krishna told, you kill your enemy, but without enmity. Means for the pleasure of Krishna, he is killing, but not for himself. So he is identifying Durjodhan and all these enemies, 640 million people gathered there, and he is going to kill them. But no enmity means no personal interest. Because when you say, I don't like that person, it's personal interest. But he belongs to Krishna, even if I don't like that person. But because he belongs to Krishna, I love Krishna and I want to bring that person to Krishna, so I'll be nice to him. even though I may not like. So there is a very first thing of the jama, the first thing of yoga, yama, niyama. So first we are going to talk yama. Yama means there are 5 fruits. One is ahimsa. Ahimsa means you cannot maintain any enmity in your life against anybody. Even somebody don't like Krishna consciousness, but still he belongs to Krishna. Like Narad Muni goes to Kamsa. When Narad Muni goes to Kamsa, Kamsa welcomes Narad Muni. He loves Narad Muni. Because Narad Muni is not a judgmental or sentimental. He is a transcendental. He knows that Kamsa need to get purified. So he pushes from that angle that how he can engage his mentality to serve Krishna. Second, so first is ahimsa, second is sattam. Sattam means what we say will be endowed with power and will come true. You understand what it means? Means no hypocrisy. If I am eating sugar and I tell somebody don't eat gulab jamun, that is not going to be sattam. So sattam is not only just truth, means it has to be effective. What I'm practicing, I can request other to practice that. But if I'm not doing something, I cannot be effective to others. So that is sattam. Third is asteya. Asteya means when you really need something for your practice or whatever, it will have its already, if it is needed, it will appear. Or in other words, it will come to you. You don't need to unnecessarily over endeavor for something. Then the fourth is Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means if you restrain from the sense enjoyment, then you get inner strength, without which you cannot do bhakti yoga. To do yoga, like Hiranyakashipu is such a powerful demon. You know, he did austerity for 36,000 years. Abstained from sex, from everything. And he became the most powerful man in this world. I'm not supporting demoniac nature, but still, to get the power, you have to have a austerity. Everybody understand that point? Without austerity, you cannot have a power. Spiritual power. I don't mean material power. Spiritual power. Then the number 5th is aparigraha. Aparigraha means while you are in this life, you grasp the whole idea of material existence with experience, and you purify your contamination, and people will be attracted not by your purity, but how you deal with your impurity. Like challenges came to Prabhupada, how he dealt with it was more attractive than how Prabhupada is not fearful. Okay, he's fearless. That is okay. But when fear came to him, how he handled is more attractive. Everybody understand that point? Like if you say, okay, he's pure, but we don't know what is that means, he's pure or she's pure. But when the challenges come, how impurity comes and how they handle it, how they actually take care that impurity in their life and come out of it with purity, that is more attractive. Just like a challenge came in Prabhupada's life, middle of the night, somebody came with a knife to Prabhupada. And he said, I can kill. But Prabhupada was not nervous. He was not looking for a telephone to call 911 or some, precaution. He was chanting Hare Krishna and he told him, just put down the knife, chant Hare Krishna. He was peaceful. He was not disturbed because he knew Krishna has to sanction for somebody to kill someone. And he came to fulfill Krishna's desire, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. So he knows that Krishna is behind that person also. It is not possible. So fear will be there, but how he acted during the fear is more attractive to us. So these are the 5 fruits of jama, fasting. First is again ahimsa, sattam, asteya, brahmacharyam, and aparigraha. Now in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is talking about this in different verses also. It's not Semitic analysis of path of yoga. Sri Krishna is assuming that the transcendentalist already knows about yoga. There are specific book on Ashtanga Yoga like Patanjali. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, I don't know if any one of you read. But Prabhupada mentioned in Bhagavad Gita a few places about Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And Patanjali, by the way, he is a pure devotee. We should be aware also. Did he introduce bhakti so much on that? No. But he just to attract people to be attracted to the Yoga Sutra. So he compiled that book. And these books give general knowledge about yoga. Bhagavad Gita does not go into technicality of this. It has given general outline of yoga, not a detailed tech analysis of yoga. So in general, goal of Bhagavad Gita is not exhaustive, delineate any one path. Its goal is to make Arjuna understand which is the best path. So with respect to bhakti, also Bhagavad Gita does not go into exhaustive delineation of bhakti. The way we see 64 elements of bhakti talked about in Nectar of Devotion. I'm sure you all read 64 elements of bhakti. We don't see anything like that in Bhagavad Gita. You may say, why? Because Bhagavad Gita is in many ways an emergency book. You know, when you are in a war, when you have a talk with your friend in the middle of people killing, what kind of talk? Is it like, how are you, Prabhu? No, not that kind of talk in the war. It's emergency talk. Only in emergency somebody talk during the fight. So Bhagavad Gita is considered, you can think, like an emergency book. It is spoken as battlefield. It is not spoken in Gurukul. In Gurukul you can talk, in the temple you can talk so many other things. But in the battlefield, you don't talk so many other things. Haribol, Radha Radha Prabhu, how are you? You don't talk in the middle of the fight. If there is a fight, only you talk something emergency. Hey, fight with this. No, go with this, like this, emergency talk. So you consider Bhagavad Gita is like an emergency talk. Not like a general talk of yoga and idea of how to perform this yoga, that sitting. Even though all are mentions, but it is an emergency talk. So Arjuna's question is not what is a particular path. His question is what I should do. You follow? Like emergency talk. What should I do? I'm in dilemma. I cannot fight. I'm mentally not equilibrium. So what path I should follow? This is the question Arjuna has. So from that angle, if you look at it, Arjuna's 16 questions. He total asked 16 questions. And all those questions are very intriguing in the middle of war to find out. Now, where is the war? Is it war outside? The war is inside his mind. Outside is only physical. It will take place. But we all have war also right now. We are in a war. but within us, yeah, in the mind. This is the practically Krishna explaining to Arjuna. In one sense, we have like career counseling. A student has finished 10th standard. He's thinking, should I take arts, commerce, science? So when career counseling is taught, what all is taught is arts, commerce, science is not exhaustively described. There will be separate course for that. Like in the counseling, the counselor and the student are not going to discuss the details of arts and commerce and science. It's just a choice the student will make. The counselor is helping. So details, little bit of it. So Bhagavad Gita is like this. It's not giving too much detail of Ashtanga Yoga, but it gives the need, goal, and why, who, for who. Some hint like that. So same example. So Bhagavad Gita progresses, we will see Sri Krishna talks more about action in yoga path than renunciation. And amongst karma yoga and bhakti yoga, Sri Krishna choose bhakti yoga. Now first, if you remember, first was Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. And Krishna was stressing up till now, Karma Yoga over Jnana Yoga. I hope you all remember what is that means. Jnana Yoga means not involve anything, just in a short sentence, not involve in any activities in this life. Just whole day night you read, chant, and do nothing practical. So Krishna says, no, don't do that. You have to do some service. That's called Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga means no service. Just hide in a cave or in a room and just chant and read. But Krishna says, no, you should also do some service. Something practical. Question came, why? Because you are born with particular contamination, nature, to fight. Like each of us, if you look at, if you assess your own existence right now in your life, you'll see some desire you have. You want to be like this. Okay, I want to be pure devotee, but I also want to get married. I want to be pure devotee, but I want to be also rich. I want to be a pure devotee. I also want to have a house in Hawaii. I want to be pure devotee, but I also want to have a good car. You can see that you have those inborn contamination nature. Now, Krishna is not rejecting this. Krishna says, engage those natures that you are born with. So we don't see everything clear, but Krishna, when we follow Krishna, we can see that actually it is purifying. And as we go. Now, Krishna is saying, between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, he's going to promote Bhakti Yoga ultimately. And this is also given hint, end of this chapter. Very exciting, this chapter. Every chapter is exciting, but every chapter when we go through is very satisfying, I would say. So I'm going to talk now a little bit more about ahimsa. What is ahimsa? Means non-violence. It is also explained in Bhagavad Gita at several places that Srila Prabhupada also explained about these several purports, I would say, I read. When we are in material world, to some extent, hingsha, you know the word hingsha? Hingsha means envy to others. Ahimsa means non-violence. Can you be envy to cow? Anybody would like to guess? Prabhupada says people are envious to cows. And I was thinking, how do you become envious to cows? You can be envy to rich man or or a beautiful person or some asset they have, or they have something you want to have in your life instead of them, you can be envy. How do you become envy to cows? Because cows, there are two types of envy. One is black envy, white envy. So black envy means everybody has a right to live in this world, but I don't allow cow to live, so I kill and eat. Oh, what is that? Non-violence? It is envy. So when we say the first thing in yoga, you want to be yogi, you want to do yoga, first thing you have to stop violence. That's why those who are yogi, they should not eat any violent food. Otherwise, they're contributing. It's not possible to become a yogi. So this is just a beginning. So out of 5 things, first thing is ahimsa. So when people feel threat, people, we will commit violence to them, then they tend to become violent towards us. If they see that we are not going to be violent, then in many ways their violence decreases. I don't know if you ever experienced this. It's true. And it will go away also. So the practice of ahimsa leads to others giving up their enmity. Then Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport Sattam. Sattam means speaking truthfully. So to recognize as a virtue, stand on religion, it is an important modern principle also. People who habitually speak lies to get their ways observed, that their way is obstructed by lack of trust, which others have. When people speak lies, others find out. I'm sure you had experience like that. When someone lies, you know that person is lying. This person is not trustworthy. We can fool some people some of the time, some people all the time, but one cannot fool all the people all the time. This is a common saying in America. Even the karmis, they know. So people will eventually find out, if they do not exactly catch us, they realize that this person plays around the truth. So satta, the word satta is a virtue, even in mundane morality. So in yoga, yogic morality, also it is important. And Patanjali says that when we speak the truth, what is the result of that? What we will speak will be endowed with power and will come true. Like this morning I mentioned, Prabhupada gave that example. One Mataji got a child to Guru and said, Gurudev, please tell this child not to eat candy anymore. He's eating too much candy. So Gurudev says, come next week, I'll tell you. So next week, when the child came, mother brought the child. Gurudev said, don't eat candy anymore. That's it. And the child said, okay, Gurudev. And the child never didn't eat candy anymore. So then question comes, why you didn't tell last week? Why are you telling now? So then Gurudev says, I was eating also candy. I stopped eating candy. Now when I say it, it has a power. So truth, when we say sattam, truth doesn't mean only speaking. It has to carry a power to affect the other person. So if I am making up something that I don't believe, it will never affect others. If I'm chanting, I believe in chanting, I see the effect, then I tell others, you should chant, you will be happy. Then it will be effective. That is called sattam. Sattam, truth means that. I hope you all understand. Truth doesn't mean you just say it, but it has no effect. What value of your truth? You know, in India, they say Sattabak is the person who speaks the truth. Sattabrata. So many words you will see in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. One who takes a vow that they will always tell the truth. So the person speak the truth. Whatever the person speak become true. Oh, that's nice. So that is the power which comes in the speech of the person. That person speaks cautiously, seriously. Others will also respect that person. And that is not that we want to respect ourselves, but we are representing Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada. So who is the ultimate truth? We need to speak truthfully. Krishna is the ultimate truth. The third point is, so we covered two. One is ahimsa, non-envious. And I spoke about black envy and white envy. I hope you all caught it. Then we spoke about the truth, sattam. Third one is asteya. Asteya means true wealth shall come to you. What does that mean? When a person don't try to steal wealth from others, that person acquire true wealth. True wealth doesn't mean you are like a peaceful person or you are like not disturbing anybody. No, inside your heart, inside your consciousness, if you don't have any desire, mentality to steal from others, when you don't have, that is called asteya. Now you will say, well, if some, if I don't have any money and somebody has too much money, can't I just take something? No, without permission. Now, that doesn't mean you will not have a desire. Let's put it this way. You may have a desire, but restraining that is called asteya. Okay, my mind is thinking of something bad, of stealing this or stealing that or something. But I restrain. I don't allow my mind to go further. That is called a yogi. The quality of yogi called asteya. Everybody understand? So the stealing from others will be there, but not allowing it means you are consciously, voluntarily choosing not to. So then you are called asteya yogi. So this is the third quality. Fourth quality is Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya, Prabhupada talks so much about it that we discuss at one level, not indulge in sex, at another level, living spiritually. And if you are not comfortable, then you get married, but keep on fighting with Maya. That is called Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya doesn't mean, Brahmacharya means you are like wasting your time day and night thinking of sex. This is not Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is not just action, it's also intention, the mentality. This is very important. Then the next one is aparigraha. This is another quality of yoga. Aparigraha, Prabhupada mentioned here, that insight into karmic cause of your present situation as well as the way our present action will impact our future. I hope you understand that. Means one does not possesses things unnecessarily. One does not have possessing mentality. So when one does not have possessive mentality, then one is able to see things truly. Otherwise, one is just caught in. Can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get this? So whatever we are getting, we started seeing things deeply. We see things come to us by karma, and by this I lost my by karma. When we see action of karma, we don't see things just as an event. When Haridas Thakur departure, Sri Mahaprabhu said, Lord Krishna being merciful to me, gave me that association. Lord Krishna being independent broke that association. So we don't see things as events. We see things as a broader connection. If you have a nice spiritual life and it's all gone all of a sudden, don't blame anybody. Rather, appreciate Krishna gave me good time in spiritual practice. Due to my misfortune, I lost it. I pray to Krishna that I can have again good spiritual life. This type of mentality is positive and they will be a good yogi quality. Generally, in our spiritual life, if we lose something, we start blaming somebody, and that is very dangerous. Okay, so these are the 5 qualities of Jama. We have a few minutes. We're going to discuss 5 other fruits of Niyama. Next. So the Ashtanga Yoga means 8. Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, then Durvana Smriti, Samadhi, like this. Pranayam in between. So now first part we finish, second part is Niyama. Niyama has a 5 aspects. What are those 5 aspects? Socha. First is Socha. Socha means detachment from selfish, materialistic bond to one's own body as well as to the bodies of others. Second, Santosha. Santosha means, oh, I came to this temple, they are not treating me good, they are not giving me good prasadam. That is not Santosha Yogi. Don't claim you are a good devotee then. Yogi means you are satisfied whatever Krishna allowing you to have. Whether they give you big plate of Mahaprasad or just a little pizza prasad. Be satisfied. That's all Krishna allows. Thank you, Krishna. Third, Tapa. Tapa means impurities are removed and the perfection of the body and senses arise. Fourth is Sadhaya. Sadhaya means hearing or reading. Some way you connect to hear about Krishna or trying to connect with Krishna. Whatever way, with meditation or hearing about Krishna, like any way you are connecting, that's called Sadhaya. And the last one, which is very prominent in the Yoga society, is called Ishvara Paridhana. Ishvara Pranidhan means how you enter into full absorption, called Samadhi. So let's discuss just few minutes on this. So Socha means cleanliness. Srila Prabhupada talked about physical cleanliness. How do you physical cleanliness? You brush your teeth, go take shower or something like that. But while you are brushing your teeth or taking shower, you can also clean inside. How? By chanting Hare Krishna in the shower. Or wherever you are cleaning outside, try to clean inside, both. In Niyama, here focus is on Socha cleanliness. Sochi is very important quality. What is the reason for talking about so much cleanliness? Why Prabhupada said cleanliness is next to godliness? Some places he said cleanliness is godliness. Wow. Suchi is very important quality. What is the reason for talking about so much? Because when we clean the body, we understand how unclean the body is. You know why in America people use the deodorant? Why people use deodorant? Because their body smells. If they don't take shower for 3-4 days, oh, I don't even want to think. Because I saw one time in Jogos society I went, some guys smell so bad. I said, have you taken shower? I just asked him straight. He said, I take shower once a week. I said, wow, that's scary. And then he immediately sprayed something on his body. So when we follow strict rule and regulation, devotees take bath several times in a day. In that way, we are forced to become aware that this body is unclean. The spiritual body that we have, not we have, we are the spiritual body. That is very clean. You don't need to clean it. Eternally clean, forever. But for the sake of affection for Krishna, Mother Yashoda takes bath every day and put on new clothes every day. But her clothes is eternally clean. Her body is eternally clean, never need to shower. But out of affection for Krishna, these are the activities they produce out of affection, not necessary. But here in the material world, it is necessary, not out of affection. Necessary. Otherwise, if I don't take bath for 7 days, I will not even like my own fragrance, not fragrance, the smell that comes out. Horrible. So it is necessary. The second is santosh. Santosh means satisfaction. What is satisfaction means? In general, whenever or wherever we live, there will always be people who have more things or less things to us. We have a choice. We can look at the people who have more things than us. Or I have two-wheeler, motorcycle, this guy has a nice car. Then after a few years, I got this nice car. Oh, that guy has a Lamborghini. Oh, I have only old Datsun, Nissan, but he has a Lamborghini, better car. So there is always agitation or cause of irritation will be there. But if you can restrain and discipline your desire or hankering, that no, whatever Krishna gave, I should be satisfied. I don't deserve more than that. Krishna gave me more than I could. If you can remain satisfied, then these are the quality of yogi. Santusta. We are bhakti yogi, but these are good quality. We should think. Satisfaction is also a choice. Satisfaction is also a decision. It is not just a condition or emotion. Generally, people think, oh, satisfaction is. But satisfaction is not a condition. Satisfaction is also a choice. We choose, you can choose to remain happy. I feel satisfied, that means what the emotion of satisfaction is there with me, but it is not just an emotion or condition, it is a choice and a decision. And the decision means that is what I will be satisfied with. I will not be requiring more things. Because the quest is for material improvement is actually endless. We just keep on improving materially and we think I got this kind of computer. I mean, list can go on forever. Non-devotees, that's how their life is. They always go on and on and on and on. I got this iPod. Now I need a new version, the new 2022 or now 2023 for next year iPod going to come. So like they go on and on. So the quest for material things are endless. I'm sure you all have an experience of that. So unless we ourselves put stop on this, we will not be able to redirect our energy towards Krishna. Why you need to be satisfied? Everybody understood that point? You have to be satisfied so you can direct your energy to Krishna, direct your energy to chant. If you are always not satisfied, you need more this, more that, you cannot chant properly. Not possible. Yes, another point also, satisfaction does not mean that one cannot have ambition. I hope you don't misunderstand my point. Satisfaction doesn't mean one cannot have ambition. Satisfaction means that one should be clear about one's priority. People think that satisfaction means that there is nothing existing left in my life. But a devotee can have spiritual ambition. A devotee can have ambition to make spiritual advancement, to read scripture. I'm going to read Chaitanya Bhagavat till the end. I'm going to keep on going morning sadhana. This ambition is necessary. How does satisfaction relate to this? Satisfaction is another thing. When you want to progress in spiritual life, that is also satisfaction. I want more on Krishna consciousness. I want to understand more. That is actually part of the satisfaction. So I hope it does not conflict. But for material things, you have to see that end of this life, all the material things finish. So you have to, first you have to do one thing. See the priority. What is your priority? Without priority checking, you cannot be satisfied. Satisfaction is not just a word. Okay, I'm satisfied. After 5 days, you may want something else. After 5 minutes, you may want something else. So people think satisfaction means that there is nothing exciting left in my life. But as I mentioned, devotee can have spiritual ambition. Devotee can have ambition to make spiritual advancement, to read scripture, to share spiritual message, to get more and more people to come closer and closer to Sri Krishna. So that ambition can be purifying, very vitalizing. There is nothing satisfying for a soul as being able to be of tangible service to Sri Krishna. It is nothing more satisfying than seeing that our life is making a difference in others' life. By sharing Krishna consciousness, by seeing that their life is becoming transformed positively, believe me, in my own practical life right now, I see that is the sublime satisfaction which comes by that is most enriching experience of life. So we all need something to look forward, isn't it? To something to be excited about. So materialist society makes us excited about materialistic things. But past, you can say purchasing material things are agitating, and achievement of material things are anticlimax. It never meet the hype. So rather than persuading that which will end up in disappointment, we turn and focus on Sri Krishna. That is my point. And focus on serving Sri Krishna more and more. So the word santosh is a choice. This is what I am satisfied with. I'm satisfied when I chant. I have a good round chanting, very good. I'm very satisfied. This is real satisfaction for yogi. Not only with the material things. I'm not going to go further in this direction than tapasya means austerity. Socha santusha tapa. So there are two more things. Maybe we can discuss just tapa for 1 minute and then we'll end today because of the time. There's another program I have with Jayadvaita Swami is here in this temple. He came here for a few days. We're going to have a program together. So next is a tapa. Tapa can be various types of, generally Srila Prabhupada talks about austerity. By fasting, whatever austerity we do, austerity removes the impurities And it helps us become strong in dealing with the body and senses. Strong in terms and stamina and stability in their use towards Sri Krishna's service. And then fourth point is Sadhaya. And the last one is Sharpari Pranidhana. We'll discuss next week. But Sadhaya, I'll give you a little few line, what I understood. Sadhaya means studying scriptures. What is the result of studying of scripture? I am asking you all to ask that question. What is the result of studying scripture? It says study scripture, but study scripture for what? That lead to connection with Krishna. How does this happen? By study of scripture, we understand that there is a higher reality. And higher reality is centered around Sri Krishna. So Sadhaya is not just an ordinary study. If someone says every day morning I do study, what do you study? A newspaper for 1 hour. Wow. According to yoga philosophy, that is not a sadhaya. Yes, you are studying, but that is not sadhaya. That is simply entertainment, you can say. We don't learn much by studying newspaper. We have to be in touch hours in that. Just a quick look at the headlines. I mean, we are not against newspaper. I mean, we have to be aware of what's going on in the world, but not spending hours and hours like that. Okay, there is a bomb or something happened, this, that. We should be aware. I'm not saying that we should be completely oblivious. No, Prabhupada was aware. Prabhupada exhibited that. But Prabhupada was not spending time so much on it. So we should be aware. But Sadhaya helps in moving towards life's higher reality. That is the key point. Sadhaya means, study means, am I progressing towards my Krishna reality? Sadhaya leads us connection of God. When we read properly, we develop. What happened if you study properly? You develop a new eyeglasses called Shastra Chakshu. You start seeing through that glasses. Scripture says this. Oh, this is what is good. Okay, scripture said this is not good. Oh, I see, this is not good. You develop a new glasses. So Sadhaya helps you to start seeing things in relation to Krishna. So that's why in Yoga Sutra, in Niyama, it is mentioned that yogi has to study every day. We can see the world as Sri Krishna's energy. When you study, then you will not complain against the world. You will say, oh, Krishna's illusory energy, that's what she's doing. If you get burned by the fire, don't blame the fire. That's what fire is supposed to be, burning. So Maya is supposed to be putting us in illusion. Why are you blaming Maya for? Maya is doing her job. So we start seeing, when we study scripture, we start seeing it is Krishna's Maya supposed to be doing this. We have nothing to do with it. We are here. Unfortunately, we have to get out by connection with Krishna. So the last part is little more discussion. I'm going to do it next Wednesday. So far what we got, can somebody give little reflection what we get so far? Let me summarize in a short and then you can reflect on that. So we discussed about the chapter 6, text 13 and 14. Kalavecha Sridhar Prabhu read it very nicely with the Prabhupada's purport. And here 14, this 14 to 18, this section of 6th chapter is called Yoga Sutra divided. So yoga, Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 stages. 8 stages. We have to memorize this because Krishna has all these all these siddhis within him, within his body. Krishna has. So, what are those 8 stages? Is it jama, niyama, asana, pranayama, then pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, and samadhi. So in jama and niyama, we generally don't talk so much about it. So today we discuss that fruits of jama are 5. One is ahimsa, means no enmity, non-violence. If somebody wants to be yogi, whether it's a devotee yogi, bhakti yogi, or ashtanga yogi, or pranayam yogi, these are compulsory. So first is non-violence, ahimsa. Second is sattam, truth. Means something you practice and you affect others by saying. But if I don't practice, it will not be called sattam. It will not be effective to others. Third, asteya. Asteya means that you restrain from stealing from others. Stealing from others, whatever it is. You restrain. That is called yogi. Asteya. Fourth, brahmacharyam. Brahmacharyam is not just controlling sex, means you have to fight with Maya, whatever ashram is comfortable, whether brahmachari, grihastha, wherever is comfortable, sannyasi, just be there so that you can fight vigorously. Asteya, brahmacharyam. The last one was aparigraha. Aparigraha means we discuss that whatever situation we are in, our present action will impact our future. That we have to remember. That is what boils down to aparigraha in one sentence. Then we discuss about niyama. So this is jama we discuss. Niyama in a short, there is also 5 fruits. Saucha, santusha, tapa, sadhaya, ishvara, pranidhana. Ishvara pranidhana, I'll talk next week. So we discuss the other 4. Saucha means cleanliness. Cleanliness, how? Externally bathing or shower, and internally chanting. And then santushta means whatever comes, you are happy. But that doesn't mean you should not have any desire to get something. Not materially, but spiritually. How do you do it? First, you do see the priority. What is priority in life? And focus on that. And you should have a goal. You should be greedy to achieve Krishna consciousness. More pure, more pure. Why? Because that is also satisfaction. Because ultimately your connection with Krishna is actually what satisfaction means. Not just restraining from material things. That is required also in the beginning. But ultimately getting connection more. So that's second. Third is austerity. Impurities are removed. And the perfection of the body and senses arise. And the fourth one we discussed, sadhaya, study. In the study, what did we say? Study means that what connects us to Krishna. Study is not just a newspaper, not that we are criticizing newspaper. We are saying that we are not need to be absorbed in it. Just be aware, okay, there is some problem or something. If there is something, there is newspaper always gives us. Okay, but our study, purpose of study means to develop eyeglasses called Shastra Chakshu, means you start seeing through the scriptures. This is the purpose of study. Okay. Now somebody give me little reflection and then we can close. Anyone?
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Well, I just want to say that so for this age, to practice this Ashtanga Yoga, it's just not it's not possible, because one of the first rules to do this is not to have any sex relationship, even not married. So why is that still now we can see gurus in India teaching Astanga yoga, Hatha yoga, everything?
People are seeking for spirituality. People are seeking for security. And they see the security means spirituality, those who are awakening. So they're seeking. But if they do not have enough piety, bhakti unmukhi sukriti, then they are diverted. So they fall for it. And people, so-called religious people, they take advantage of it. But if you look at our life, this Ashtanga Yoga we apply every day. As I was explaining, all these 9 items out of 10, we do this every day, don't we? We do this every day. We study every day. We are developing a Shastra Chakshu, means a new lens or new glasses through the Shastra. And we do austerity, which builds a power within us to sustain in bhakti path, to go on. And we are thriving to connect with Krishna every moment, to be satisfied. Satisfaction also we are looking for. And we are also doing cleanliness, bathing and chanting. So this we Bhakti Yogi, we are doing all these 10 things. Total 8, I only discuss about 2 subject matter today. But in India, yes, not only in India, here also in America, Jogo society, Jogo classes are in every big cities. Prabhu, if somebody wants $1 million in trade with $5, what do you expect them to have? A maybe fake check of $5 million. Because you could buy actually $1 million printed check, original $1 million copy with $5. So if people are not thriving for ultimate goal, they are looking easy way to get out. That's all they're going to get. And Maya is expert to provide them. So those who are fortunate, they are coming bhakti. Those who are not, they are. So we need to preach more. We need to really help those people to wake up what is Jogo means. As in the morning Chaitanya Bhagavat class we mentioned, Jogo means connection with Krishna. If it is not connecting with God, it is not Jogo. Now within Jogo there is a different gradation is there. That is true. Bhakti Yoga is the highest, Hatha Yoga in the beginning, like that. It gives some idea, Prabhu?
Thank you. Very good.
Okay. Any other reflection from anyone? No? Everybody convinced? Okay. So we'll end here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pancha kalpa taruvesya kripa sindhavaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta Guri Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol.